Hey, good morning, everybody. I've been asked to do a review of my ULA Catalyst backpack that I used on what turned out to be a long section hike, 453 miles on the AT. I started at Skyland in Shenandoah on the 1st of April and ended up with an injury just past I think Warwick, New York. I get into Tuxedo there on the state park. So anyway, this catalyst I replaced my Osprey 65 AG with it, mainly because I wanted to get something a little bit lighter. This is 48 ounces, and the capacity on my AG 65 was okay for summertime, but with winter gear, it was very tight, and I started out with a hammock, and that extra gear and the underquilt was too much for the cubic inches. This Catalyst is rated for about 75 liters and 40 pounds. My experience on the trail, however, was it didn't like to be over about 32 and a half pounds with my body and how I had it configured. 30 and under, it really performed well and felt well, rode well, didn't give me as many problems. Now, I ended up with regretting that I had not gotten the S straps, and I have been talking with Chris at ULA, and we've stuffed it up here with some blankets, taken some pictures, sent it into them, and we're going to retrofit my shoulder straps with extra large ones. Now, what's interesting is in the pull-down menus at ULA, you're not going to find that option. Okay, so my lesson learned, and I know from my friend Jesse and him working with Z-Pack and his pack, if you're not the standard insurance table person, 5'10", 160 pounds, then you're probably going to need to talk to ULA. You can do they have a video on how to measure to get the right torso, for example. But it does say in there, if you fall outside these parameters and you talk to us, well, guess what? Yeah, you need to talk to them. I know down at Z-Packs they actually want you to send them measurements, and so they do more of a custom fit. And so I would say that if you're like me, you fall outside those insurance tables of what a normal 1950s body should look like, then you probably need to be talking to ULA and when you order your pack and make some fine-tune adjustments. In the end, they said, no, the normal J strap that I have is the right strap for my body type. I just need to have longer ones. So for $35 plus shipping, they're going to trade them out for me. So I think that's a very good deal. And when you order this pack too, the hip belt is a separate item that you order, and if you need a replacement one, it's like $39. So if you start out husky like myself and you lose a significant amount of weight, at some point in time on a thru hike, you may need to trade out your hip belt, in which case that's easy to do. You order a new one, $39, a smaller one, and it goes right in and right out. Now this pack it's a single compartment. On the front, it does have bungees here that allow you to to put wet things to dry. You can hang socks on there, your raincoat, and it has a pretty large pocket, a mesh pocket. Now, what's interesting is I discovered that if you're going to put stuff in the mesh pocket and it's bulky, you better put it in first before you load the pack, because once you get the pack loaded, it's really hard to put anything in here of significance. Okay, so if you have some bulky items that you really want to put in here, you can put them in first before you load the pack. It comes with you got your ice axe loops. This also works great for your trekking poles. There was times when I had to stow the trekking poles, put them on the pack because there was a lot of rock scrambles. It has two-sided compression straps, but the roll closure here on top. Right now I've got it rolled down and tied down here along the sides, but you can disconnect that, and you can roll this up kind of more like a dry sack, okay? All right, and then these extra straps on the side that are no longer used now, they're designed, one's got a male end and one's got a female end, and you can now use them for extra compression if I can find it. See, one's male, one's female, and so now you got an extra compression strap along the center if you prefer. Now, why would you want to do this? Well, if you're out and you're only needing about, let's say, 30 liters of this volume, if you throw this in a pack, it's all going to end up down here in the bottom, and it's going to be empty up here, and it's going to really kind of mess up how the pack rides on you. So in that particular case, you may want to cinch the compression straps down, make it a thinner pack, and then you can put your 30 liters worth of gear in it, and it'll help distribute it more evenly across the pack and help it carry better. Inside the pack, there's a hydration bladder sleeve that I removed since I don't use a bladder, and there's also another little gear pouch that I use to put my wallet in. Other than that, everything goes straight in. There's no zippered compartment at the bottom like you have with some of your Osprey packs. You also do not have any drain holes in the bottom of the pack, which I kind of take as a negative, because these hydration, I've had some problems with this hydration port right here. You notice it's kind of open. So if you're hiking in the rain, you're going to get water into this pack. So I mean, this is not waterproof. You're going to need to put a liner in here, or have everything in dry sacks. And so if you're not using a pack cover, you're going to have penetration of water in there. This one on this side was the worst one. Most of the time, the one on this side was adequately closed. Okay, but this one seemed to always bulge out on it. So, and it might be it was maybe perhaps so just a little bit skewed off or something. But so these are the straps I'm going to replace. They do come with these hand straps, so if you're going without poles, something to do with your hands. And there was times when I use these just to kind of help get the really heavy pack after I resupply, to kind of get up and get it better repositioned to be able to get my hips tightened up. And these water bottle loops, okay, at Delaware Water Gap, I did a review on the pack and I showed you kind of how these worked. I didn't use these for the first couple of resupplies, and I started using them with my water bottles, and I really liked them. They will, the 1 liter smart bottles will work on this. The Gatorade bottles will work with this. They seem to want to ride a little bit better if I use the 700 milliliter smart water bottles with the sports caps on them, or the Life Water. Life Water is a little bit narrower than and a little bit taller than the smart water bottle. The side pockets here are big enough you can easily put 2 water bottles, 1 liter water bottles in here, so you could carry 4 liters plus another liter. You could carry 6 liters very easily on the outside of this pack without ever using the hydration leader, which is important on the PCT in the desert. This will also carry a bear canister down here in the bottom, which is one of the reasons I got this, because if I'm ever interested in hiking out in California, I need that area where the bear canister is required. I wanted to be able to see if I was happy with this pack or not. I think the Arc Hall will carry a bear canister, but it has to go down vertically. This one, with one of them, it'll go in and it'll lay down sideways and fill up that bottom, which then actually helps with packing the pack. The hip belt was very comfortable. Matter of fact, my friend Jesse bought a hip belt from ULA and has retrofitted his Mariposa with it because he liked it much better. And this just goes. It's just some Velcro under here that you just loosen up, and you can pull it out. The pockets are large. I pretty much got to the point where I put all of my lunch and my snacks of the day down here in my hip belt pockets, and I really never had to get in anything up top once I started. So I think you remember that I was lamenting not having a brain anymore for me able to put that stuff in, and now it's all stays down here. Anyway, so that's just a quick overview. I'll make a part 2 to this video when I get back my straps, and we'll see how they work. Right now, it looks like the buckle comes down to about where my hip belt, top of my hip belt is at. So we'll see how much difference the new straps make when they come in. All right, everybody. That's like I said, I like the pack. It's rated up to 40 pounds, but I really didn't like to be over about 35.5 with my body type. 30 was better. I know there's one comment on ULA's website from a reviewer who talked about going out with it running about 45 pounds. And as he hiked the weight down over his trip, he said the sweet spot for him was about 25 to 30 pounds. So like I said, the pack worked well, 30 and below. It really started complaining on my body at 35 and about 32 and a half. So, and when I got off the trail, it was 34 with 3 more days of food left. So that was a heavy pack that day, and I was still struggling with food and probably carrying too many calories for where I was with my hiker hunger not being at a full rage yet. Okay, so anyway, all right, thank you everybody. We'll see you later. Bye.